Magandang hapon, RJ, at magandang hapon, UPLB. Samahan niyo po akong kilalanin na si Dr. Jeffrey Bunquin at alamin natin ang kwento ng kanyang advocacy. Magandang hapon, sir. Welcome sa Tatak UPLB.
Magandang hapon sa iyo, Polly. Maraming salamat sa pag-imbita sa akin dito sa inyong palabas.
Ano nga ba yung course na kinuha mo at bakit ito ang pinili mo noon?
Okay. So ako ay graduate ng Bachelor of Science in Chemistry sa UPLB. So I started in 2002 and graduate ako ng 2006. So it all boils down to the fact that yung nanay ko yung nagsabi sa akin, doon tinanong ko, ano po bang kukunin ko? Sabi ng nanay ko, mag-chemistry ka kasi si Tita Ellen mo mayaman, nagkatrabaho siya sa Shell. And so yung ilang, sinulat ko yun sa UPCAT form. Wala naman kaming balak akong mag-aral sa UPLB kasi mahirap kami. Yung nanay ko ay nagtitinda ng kakanin, yung tatay ko is jeepney driver. Ay nakapasa ako sa UPLB program sa Chem and then that started it all.
Meron ka bang hindi makakalimutan na professor o kaya mga fellow students sa UPLB? At bakit sila naging unforgettable sa iyo?
I can name 3 off the top of my head, no. So, isang professor and then dalawang students na naging highly influential sa akin and naging kaibigan ko. Yung professor is si Dr. Evelyn Rodriguez. Siya yung aking undergraduate research advisor.
Mhm.
So si Ma'am EPR, she instilled in me yung value nung discipline and integrity and hard work as well. Professor who believed in me. And I think that started yung pag-build ng self-confidence ko as a student and as a chemistry major. And then, yung dalawang notable students, so actually yung dalawang summa cum laude na naging kaibigan ko. Si Joanne Narciso, she's one of my closest friends. She's still by far the most intelligent person that I have actually met. But she's that smart, but she's also the most humble person ever. That was very inspirational to me. So parang, if I want to ground myself whenever I achieve things, I always think of Joanne. Yung second naman na student is Crisita Carmen Atienza. So she's the very first summa cum laude of the Institute of Chemistry, a year ahead kay Joanne. Crisita naman, she's the total package. She's also like very smart, but then um, her emotional intelligence is actually that high. And I'm actually proud to say that she's a trailblazing Filipina. So we're both working for the same company right now, and she's doing really, really well. She's someone that most Filipinos should be proud of. And yun yung mga tatlong tao. They're all women. They're highly influential and yung parang ako, I was able to forge a career. I was able to dream just by taking inspiration in the example that they showed me.
For sure, meron kayong mahilig tambayan nung panahon nyo? At bakit kayo mahilig tumambay dito sa lugar na to? Lugar ba?
Okay, yung pinakamadalas kong tambayan, tinatambayan ko not by choice, but out of necessity, no? So, madalas ako nun sa main library, mainly because, since mahirap nga kami, wala akong pambili ng textbook. So, naka-survive ako ng buong undergrad ko na wala akong nabibili ng isang textbook. So, pagkakatapos ng klase, pupunta na ako doon sa main library. Mag-aaral ako ng mga lumang libro doon sa main section kasi yung mga textbooks na ginagamit sa klase, palagi siyang nakalabas. So, doon lang ako nag-aaral para makatipid din ako magpapa-photocopy. Yun na, doon na ako nagsosolve ng problems kapag may spare time ako. Parang yan. Medyo may pagka-boring yung UPLB life ko. Though, nung third year and fourth year, may, yung mga close friends ko sa chemistry, lumalabas-labas na rin kami.
I think nakwento niyo na po a little bit yung mga na-instill na values sa inyo ng UPLB. Meron pa po ba kayong other na gustong idagdag na na-instill sa inyo ng UPLB?
Siguro, if anything, it's the value of passion and hard work.
Mm-hmm.
And feeling ko yung sense of passion and perseverance na ni-instill sa mga UPLB students, that's actually what's setting them apart. The extra mile that they go in everything that they do. I'm hoping that those values are still, they still get inculcated, amongst our students.
Pagkatapos yung graduate, ano po bang ginawa nyo? Nagtatrabaho na ba kayo agad or nag-aral kayo uli?
Nako na, ang dami kong mga ginawa. So, so I graduated in 2006. And then after that, I took the board exam. And then I taught an instructor sa UPLB.
Okay.
Moved to a private company, which is Shell Philippines. So I worked there from 2007 to 2008. And then after that, in January 2009, I moved to Alberta, Canada. So ako yung kauna-unahang estudyante nila in, I think about like more or less 10 years since the last Filipino students. And then after that, I went to Chicago in 2013 to work for Argonne National Laboratory. And then after that, after a year and a half, I got an offer from ExxonMobil, which is, as I said earlier, one of the biggest petrochemical companies in the world. So I'm the second Filipino to have penetrated their research and development organization. So, and then
Wow.
I've been with Exxon for about like 3 years now.
Puntahan naman natin yung yung Filipino Science Hub. Okay.
Okay.
I think this is your advocacy. Tama po ba?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Ano po ba naging inspirasyon nyo para gawin tong Filipino Science Hub? Para po sa ating mga manonood, pwede niyo po bang explain ano po ba tong Phil Sci Hub?
Okay, okay. So Filipino Science Hub, it's an online platform na binuo po namin, mga graduates ng UPLB. And it's an online platform that aims to promote the cultures of science, technology, engineering, and math amongst, high school teachers and students. And actually, sinimulan ko to way back in 2012 pa. It was not called PhilSci Hub. It was called Batangas City Science Teachers Hub, because when I was still studying to earn my PhD in chemistry sa Canada, I would always go back home every year, and I would spend a few days to go around schools to mentor teachers and to talk to them. Essentially, yung goal ko back then was to introduce research and to mentor our teachers, kasi as a scientist, feeling ko mas okay na hanggang bata pa lang ma-motivate yung mga estudyante. But then there was this seminar in 2012 that I facilitated together with some UPLB graduates. So Cherise Abrigo, who's I don't know if you know her, she's like dedicating her life to serve the people, essentially. So I was with her, with JP Onya, and with Ruby Janet Ortiz, like both graduates of chemistry in UPLB. So we did the seminar sa Batangas City. Nag-talk kami, tinanong namin teachers, ano po hindi nyo alam, ano po yung kailangan nyo. And after nung seminar, when I went back home, I felt quite defeated, in the sense na I was under the impression na medyo walang masyadong ideas yung teachers natin back then in 2012. I felt that, okay, I have to do something. And so I created this Facebook page in 2012 to stay in contact with those teachers. So trying to communicate to them through the page. But then, nung panahon kasi na yun, hindi pa masyadong hot yung Facebook. Naging dormant yung page, not only because walang masyadong nagpa-participate, naging busy rin ako sa career ko. And then, what happened come 2020 is this pandemic. So nung nag-lockdowns na, and then when governments rolled out decisions that for the upcoming school year, magdi-distance learning. And so, alala ko yung teacher, sabi ko, mashucks, paano na sila? 'Di ba? Parang nasa Pilipinas na. Sabi ko, nakikita ko how well established the educational system here in the US is. Yung online education, may training sila. They can provide laptops or tablets to all the students and teachers. Essentially everything that they need, they can get it here. And so doon ka na naman alala yung mga tao sa atin sa Pilipinas, na paano yung teachers natin, paano sila maghahanda dito, paano yung mga taong hindi nararating ng internet, paano yung mga walang laptops, paano yung mga walang tablets. And so I felt that I had to do something. And so what I did was I went back to the page, and then I looked for online resources na pwedeng gamitin ng teachers to prepare for the upcoming distance learning school year. So I actually went to the UP Open University website, and they were offering free online courses. And so I resurrected the page, and I rebranded it as Filipino Science Hub. Okay, so when I posted like that UP Open University free courses, it kind of like went viral. And then when the page hit about like 1,000 followers, I realized, okay, I won't be able to handle this by myself, kasi nagko-comment yung teachers, nagme-message, and then I also have to find materials quite regularly to keep the engagement. So sabi ko, hindi ko to kaya alone. So I invited some of my trusted and great friends. So JP Onya, from who's a PhD student in chemistry sa Finland, and then Janice Avrila. So she's a scientist based in Kansas. So the three of us, we started working together. mas na handle namin ng maayos. May delegation ng work, someone's working on the content, someone's doing customer service, essentially engaging with the teachers when they have questions. And then next thing we knew, we hit 5,000 followers. And so like as the size of the platform increases, we had to bring in more people. And so the next person that we contacted was John Marty Mateo, who's actually also like a very active volunteer for a bunch for a bunch of outreach activities. So after noon, nung palapit noon, we also invited Professor Medjoan Aguila and Professor Ralph Lauren Alumia from the Institute of Chemistry in UPLB, and they're both employed there as professors. So kaming anim, we formed the core team of PhilSci Hub, and then now it actually has about 25,000 followers on Facebook, about 26 or 27,000 followers on TikTok, and about 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yung videos namin that we actually shoot, it has like about 600,000 watch minutes already. So, like, dun mo nakikita talaga yung engagement ng teachers. And I have to say, yung mga ganitong klaseng advokasya na bumubuo ka ng mga plataforma na yung reach ay napakalawak. You need a team. Hindi ito kayang patakbuhin, hindi ito kayang i-maintain ng isang tao lang. And I think I would actually like I'm quite proud to share the fact that, since April hanggang ngayon, we had already hosted about 15 web events, essentially webinars and lecture sessions. And out of those, and yung 15 na webinars na yun, we were able to train about 8,000 teachers already. And if you would translate that into, the number of students that are impacted, so the World Bank recently um, rolled out like a statistical number, the statistics when it comes to the pupil to student to teacher ratio. So for every teacher, they do have like about like 24 students. So 8,000 times about like 24 students, you're looking at about 200,000 students impacted. So alam mo yun, nakaka-motivate yun. So it's like, we divide up the effort, but then by doing so, the impact is actually amplified. So kasi yung target talaga namin ultimately, ma-reach yung mga students. And paano, kaming mga nasa abroad, paano ba namin sila maaabot? So this is really something that, like we spend much time, effort, and energy, and even money, because I'm funding myself out of my own pocket, because hindi kami nanghihingi pa sa ibang tao, hindi pa kami registered as a non-profit. But it's all worth it kapag nakita mo yung feedback ng mga teachers and students. Wala, napapawi na yung mga pagod mo, and then you just get more motivated, to deliver to them, like materials that are out there that they're just not aware of. Ultimately, parang ganun lang naman yung nagiging role namin eh. So, kami yung naghahanap at nagre-recommend ano ba yung pwede ninyong ituro sa mga estudyante. So, we have to empower the teachers. We have to enhance their competencies. So, kung anong tingin nilang kulang, doon kami nagfo-focus. So, hindi rin kasi kami yung parang tipong all-knowing kami, ito yung dapat alam nyo. No, we actually talk to the teachers. We seek their feedback, and then kung ano man yung information na nakukuha namin, we work around them para on purpose yung aming efforts. Kumbaga, there's a clear intention as to why we're doing something. I feel like PhilSci Hub is something that this entire team had built, and I feel like, kung pag nagre-retire ako, I can make this like my full-time retirement activity. Sabi ko nga, yung STEM area, it never expires. Yeah, it only grows. So
Eto na yun, down to our last question. What is your message to the younger Filipino generation?
So yung gusto kong iparating sa mga mas nakababata nating generation. I've read this book, I forgot the author. Mas magkakaroon tayo ng impact as people if we adapt the growth mentality. You should not do things just to survive or to satisfy the minimum requirement. You should always do things with the intention of creating something new. You always have to be in that creative mode, in that growth mode, kasi doon nanggagaling yung significant contributions mo sa society. So sana sa mga kabataan natin, let's always try to go the extra mile. Wala namang mawawala sa iyo eh. Parang sometimes you would fail, sometimes you would aim for something and baka dumaplis, hindi mo mahit yung target mo. Kokopyahin ko yung sinabi ni Marty, you should always also aim to be an active part of your community. Make sure that like our time spent on this world is impactful.
Message para naman sa parents ng younger generation natin.
There are several types of intelligence. So wag po natin sukatin ng mga anak natin sa marka. Kasi IQ is one thing, but emotional quotient is equally important. Karamihan po ng successful na mga tao ay nababalanse ang talino at ang tamang pag-uugali at karakter. Atin pong hubugin yung mga anak natin na kompleto, na balanse po.
So, thank you for inviting us again and thank you for introducing Phil-Sci Hub sa atin, sa amin, at mga, not just the fellow alumni, pati sa mga nakikinig ng UPLB at Tatak UPLB. Maraming salamat, sir, sa oras na binigay mo. And yung may I request na gawin niyo po UPLB Tatak shoutout po natin.
Ako si Jeffrey Bunquin at Tatak UPLB ako.
Ayan. Maraming salamat, sir. Maraming salamat po sa oras na binigay niyo sa amin dito. We are very honored na makasama. Oh. Ayan, RJ, nakilala na natin si Jeff. Sana natuwa kayo sa ating kwentuhan with him. At marami rin akong natutunan sa kanya. At para sa ating mga fellow alumni, baka may mga gusto na makipag-collaborate or sumama sa kanilang advocacy. Message lang po kayo dito sa DCLB 1116 ang tinig ng kaunlaran at kami na po ang bahalang mag-connect sa inyo. Back to you, RJ.